Some of you might like to know a little bit more about our drummer.
Now going back to 40 years of Chick Webb.
Is drummer right? Is it okay to say drummer?
Pounding his pulsing beat into the hearts of all America.
You motherfuckers are fucking all over this joint.
You do your kind of drumming, and I'll do my kind of drumming.
I have no more time. You don't know what I love again.
The only things I care about in this goddamn life are me and my drums and you.
The official explanation was he choked on vomit.
You suppose maybe I could put the drums in your place and sort of drop in once in a while?
Now back to Gene Krupa's syncopated style shortly.
Get up there behind those drums, lean back, close your eyes, get right on the groove there, give it a good steady beat.
I got blisters on my fingers!
I'd hit that.
I'm in Los Angeles with Victor and Indrizzo. Thanks for having me over, Victor.
Oh, thanks for coming over.
We're at Victor's studio in Hollywood. You'll hear some
horrible TV cues in the background. I apologize.
Over and over.
Over and over and over. Yeah.
There's editing going on.
He's mixing, yeah.
Mixing.
Yeah.
Victor's got his own guy.
You got a guy.
Got a guy. It's good to have a guy.
Good guy. Chris Steffen, one of the greatest engineers. One of my favorites.
Yeah. It's a great space. We did talk about it when I got here. You showed me around.
Yeah. I feel, like I said, very lucky and also a little bit sad of being able to have this. I think,
explain the sadness.
Well, the sadness is that this is has been a studio since the 60s, and a lot of great, amazing records were made here. And now these places are for rent, and so people can rent them out as opposed to being hired by people to make records every day. Now, guys like me are renting these places out, so you can make records cheaper. We make stuff here,
Yeah.
To me, so it's a sad state of affairs, but at the same time I also feel super lucky, and it's a dream come true to have a space like this to do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a weird, I feel happy and sad about it at the same time.
If I could just, I could describe it to people, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that it's beyond their imagination.
It's a classic recording studio. It's a proper studio.
It's the real deal here.
Yeah.
This isn't just a little home thing.
No.
Going on.
No.
You rent it out to people, you were saying?
Occasionally we will, friends that we know are producers, but the majority of it is for, to do work here, cut tracks and whatever.
You mentioned before Arctic Monkeys?
Yes, they were the last thing before we moved in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was...
No, but there's Rita Wilson's coming in tomorrow. She's renting the place out, and...
Would that be with the Craig Mack?
I think it's just piano and vocals tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I love that Craig McIntyre. He's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He
gave me a very cool drummer book called "Give the Drummer Some." We were working on a session together. He was playing percussion and I was playing kit, and talking about drummers. And he was so sweet, and he brought me that book.
Yeah.
And I love talking to him, as he's a true drummer fan. It's like I love talking to other drummers about drummers.
Yeah. Totally.
And also why I love your show so much.
Thank you, man. We're geeks.
Yes.
We're geeks united.
Yes.
You busy, by the way, Victor, as everyone knows, very busy guy. Today you were doing a session.
Yeah.
If we can talk about for a minute, Dean Parks, you were saying?
Dean Parks and George Deering and Randy Kirby. Yeah, very lucky and very scared always to play with those guys. Like I was saying, for me, movie dates are very scary still, because I feel scared reading. It's like reading is not a strong point for me, and but I feel so good when I have a good day and I get through it, and I'm like, oh, I did it! I did it! It's a victory, so I feel pretty happy today.
I love that you didn't know how to read. You were just saying before, like, you learned a few years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, really it came from, I started doing movies with Lyle Workman.
Yeah.
Lyle and I had toured together in Beck, and he started getting movies, and for his movies, I would just go to his house, and he would play something, and we would jam, and there it is. There was no reading involved. But when those movies became successful, all of a sudden I started getting calls from other composers. And I remember the very first time I told the guy, I was like, hey, I'm not a great reader. I had I think I had band in junior high, so I had some basic idea of, how to read notes and stuff. I was like, but hey, if you send me the charts ahead of time, I'll study them and I'll do my best. And from there, I just started learning and getting books and talking to other drummers and asking advice. And so it's been this process of learning, because somehow I fooled them and I keep getting called to do more movies.
Did you ever pull a Buddy Rich and get the charts ahead of time and have someone else play to them?
Oh God, no! I wish.
Pay them to do that and then just listen to it and learn.
Oh, I wish.
What a way to do it.
That's a great idea. I know. I've been making it way too hard on myself.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
an awesome idea.
How did you learn? Just on your own? Or did you get a couple of lessons?
No, I can remember being 5 years old and listening to Sgt. Pepper, and I remember I just wanted to play drums, and that's all I ever wanted to do. And my family was super poor. We were welfare poor, and I always asked to have lessons, and we just couldn't afford them. But like I said, I had band in junior high. And I had an amazing teacher who did something cool for me one time too. I remember trying. I would, I wasn't learning how to read. I wasn't really paying attention, and I was playing something. He was like, "Oh, that's cool, but you could play it if you could write it out." And I remember writing it out then. He made me sit down and figure out how to write it out. And then I stopped because I got into playing in rock bands, where reading was not part of it, and that's all I wanted to do. It's I want to be in a rock band, and I wanted, So I stopped taking band classes and dropped out of high school, ran away to Hollywood, and joined a band, got signed, and started doing it. And that was...
How old were you when you dropped out of high school?
16 or 17. I just...
junior year?
Yes. And I had a lot of trouble. I came from a very kind of fucked up background. There was a lot of abuse in my house and a lot of alcoholism and things of that nature. And music was my escape, and I wanted out, and I just knew if I could get to Hollywood somehow, it would be okay, and I could figure my way.
Where were you coming from?
I lived out in Moore Park.
Okay.
So it was suburbs.
Because you're from Long Island, you were saying.
Yes, but my family moved out here when I was 10, so basically I feel like I'm from here.
You don't feel a connection to...
I feel a very strong connection to New York. All my relatives are there. Yes, very strong.
You feel like a New Yorker?
Yes, still. I don't know why, but since I've been here, my cousins used to make fun of me and call me Surfer Boy, even though I never fucking surfed in my life.
Oh, you're New York.
Hey, fucking Surfer Boy. Hey, that kind of shit.
Are they all on the island?
Yes, a lot of, and some in the city and all over the place. But
Surfer Boy.
Yes, I'm like, what are you talking about, Surfer Boy? What the fuck? That's pretty funny. But yeah, coming to Hollywood was it was exciting because it was late 80s, and there was so much music going on. You had there was the weird metal scene, the glam bands and all that, and I liked all the indie stuff. I joined a band called Red Cross that was kind of a underground, alternative kind of band, and but you could go to all these clubs like Raji's, where Nirvana would play, or Thelonious Monk, and you could jam with all these different people, and it just seemed like such an exciting time. There were so many different kinds of music going on, and I don't know. So at that point, I just thought I would be in a rock band, and that would be that.
It'd be simple.
Yeah. It's funny the path that my life took.
Yeah.
I never saw that, or even thought or dreamt that I could be a session guy.
Right.
Though I remember reading about like Andy Newmark and Modern Drummer when I was a kid, and I was like, oh shit, that guy's fucking cool. And he played on Fresh, and he played on John Lennon's. He played on so many different kinds of records. And it's like I thought that was amazing, because for me, I loved so many different kinds of music, and I wanted that. I just didn't know how you would achieve that. As a matter of fact, the first time I saw Beck play, I was so blown away. I saw him play at the Universal Amphitheater, and he was doing everything. I was like, oh fuck, I want to be in that band. Like, they're doing everything. It's like 1 minute it's punk rock, and then it's like hip hop, and then it's like soul music, and it's all these things all mixed into one thing. And I just thought that was the best thing I ever saw in my life. And then I don't know, a year later I got asked to audition for him, which was pretty crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And really, one of the things, I learned so much being in his band. So much.
That was with Lyle Workman?
With Lyle and Justin Meldal Johnson and Roger Manning. And yeah, it was just...
what did you learn?
What's that?
What did you learn?
I learned a lot. I learned one, it was the first time I got to play to tracks, right? I'd played to click tracks to record. Mm-hmm. Plenty, years of playing to clicks already by that point. But then really learning how to play with loops. And not just one loop, but maybe there's 5 loops going, and trying to find your place in that. And how do I make this work? And how do I like take these 5 drum parts he has going and pick out the best parts of them? Or like, what is it that you're really hearing? Because you might hear 5 loops all at the same time, but it almost sounds like one thing. So it's like, now how do I interpret that one thing? And what is it about these, which little part? Is it the bass drum pattern from this loop? Is it the ride over here on this loop? And like figuring all that stuff out, and just the musicianship. And like the thing I loved is they rehearsed so much. Like I remember when I first saw them, it was like, wow, it looks so fun and looks so loose. And really, it was fun, but it was not loose. It was like, it was planned out and it was rehearsed, well rehearsed. And I love that. I love to work hard at something, like, and they certainly did. And I loved it. And every night felt like there was never any complacency. It was like, we're going to go out there and let's go fucking tear this fucking place up. And I just love that thing of just pushing yourself to that, to try and be great, right? Not to be, oh, it's another night, oh, we're going to go do this thing. It's like, no, let's go fucking be great. And let's be even greater than we were the night before, you know? Yeah. And then if you ever watch Justin, he would do the most ridiculous things, these amazing things. He'd be running in place with his knees coming up to his chin, but playing, and I'm listening to the click and him super loud, playing note perfect. You're just like, holy fuck, you're insane.
Yeah.
And amazing.
Yeah.
It was just such an inspiration.
Did Beck, was he very, very specific?
He was very specific.
Like, there wasn't a lot of room for you to just be like, hey, I think it should be like this.
I think halfway through the tour it changed into a little bit more of like being able to add more of yourself. But no, he was very specific, and that was also a learning experience, because up until that point you're in rock bands, you have a little bit of a say, and you're like, hey, I want to do this, and so to me that was another part of the learning experience. And really like to be able to interpret what somebody's saying, because he's not a drummer, so he can't exactly explain to you. He started talking about various degrees of swing, and the first time he said that to me, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's either you're swinging or it's not. And he was right. There are very many degrees of swing. And so I learned about that, and learned about just taking direction, which is a valuable, valuable thing, which I even had a point, I think, even after the first couple of years of doing sessions, I learned a valuable lesson, because I remember the producer had suggested something that I thought was very wrong. Very wrong. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, really. And when he said that, it hit me, and I was like, fuck, you know what? He's right. this isn't my record. I'm here to be of service. I got hired to make these people's vision come true. That's my job, right? If I'm lucky enough to get hired to do my thing, which happens more now than it used to, great. But really, I'm there to be of service and like help them see what their vision is, right? So it's like, that was an amazing lesson. I still always have to remind myself sometimes, because it's like, you know, you play on a couple hundred records, you're like, maybe I think I know what it should be, and maybe I do, maybe I'm right, and maybe I'm fucking wrong. It's like, you know, who's to say? It's all so subjective, but I have to remember I'm there to do a job.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to go back for a minute, I was curious, when you say when you just took off from home, was that announced?
Yes, it was announced. I think I had some confrontation. There were many confrontations in my house, and it was like, hey, you know, you need to do this and that, and think about going to college and all these things. And I was like, no, I'm gonna play some music, and I know exactly what I'm gonna do. And there were I had a horrible stepdad who was like beating the shit out of all of us, and I was like, you know what, it's just time for me to go, and I can do this. I finally had enough courage, and there was something amazing when I was younger that I felt like the more that it seemed like my stepdad, for instance, was he worked in music. He was like a stagehand guy, and he would tell me, you're never going to be good enough, and it's impossible. And it fueled me. Mm-hmm. It fueled me to be like, fuck you, I'm going to do this.
I'll show you.
Yes, I'll show you, which was amazing. Which sometime down the road kind of backfired, and there was a lot of fear and insecurity that I still have today, I think, as a result of that kind of like stuff going on.
Sure.
But at that moment in time, it was great, and I'm thankful to him, truthfully, because maybe I would have been stuck out in suburbia. I don't know, like...
if it was really too good and too easy.
Yeah, he had lit a fire under me, and it was like, I want something, and no one's going to tell me no. And I believe...
that is interesting that you had that.
Yeah, I think, anybody that does something in the arts is usually, it's a little bit out of the norm, and people are afraid of it. But I think if you really have that passion to do something, you can make anything happen.
But also, you had no role model within reach that had done this before.
No, God,
that's the other thing. Yeah.
No, it did seem impossible.
Right.
It seemed like
but yet possible.
But possible, and also I was like, what did I have to lose? It's
the beauty of youth, right?
Yes, you're young. Yeah. It's like, I'm poor already. It's like, what? I'm going to be poor somewhere else. Big fucking deal. Like, I'll go, and I was fucking poor.
Did you have any savings when you took off?
I had nothing. It's like...
Were you with a band, though? Was it like you were a gang?
No, nope. It was by myself at that point. And I went and I got jobs. I worked, I think at first, 3 jobs to save up enough to get a place, and I couch surfed for a while. And I was determined. And I was like... and I'm good like that. It's funny, every now and then I get to a place, if I really want to do something... I'm gonna make that shit happen.
You're willing to surf on couches if need be.
Yes, that's what it takes sometimes. Yeah. It's like, I'm willing to do whatever this takes to get there. I don't know how and where or when, but I will, damn it, I'm gonna try.
Does it give you a strange relationship with stuff? I mean, you've got this great studio, like you said. You've got a lot of...
Yeah, stuff doesn't mean that much to me. Sometimes I wish that it meant more to me, to tell you the truth. Ask anybody, much to many people's dismay, I wear the same clothes every day. It's like I wear a white V-neck t-shirt usually and a pair of jeans, and I've worn that same outfit for forever. It's like clothes and stuff it just doesn't matter to me. I still care about the same things. I care about music. I care about my kids.
Yeah.
And trying to be happy, trying to find some happiness in this life.
Yeah. It's enough of a mission.
That is enough of a mission.
But you were doing the rock and roll thing, more even dare I say, punk and...
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, I had the Red Cross thing, and then that kind of fell apart, and I had a band with my ex-wife, and we made money, we lost money, and then I had a kid, and then all of a sudden we split up, and then I get into doing some drugs, which is, something I wouldn't recommend to anybody, but I started working, and I was working, and I always kept putting myself out there. I was like, I would go to a jam night, I would go whatever.
What kind of jam nights?
Any kind of
baked
jam.
potato?
What? No, not that. I couldn't fucking sit at a baked potato. No, it'd be like some lame ass blues jam or something. Whatever, wherever I could meet other people, like Raji's. It wasn't
right.
I would have been way too scared to step to the fucking baked potato. But and then I'd end up in these bands, and they'd get a record deal for me and go on tour, and then it would all fall apart, and
this just happened over and over again.
Over and over, and then I met Scott Weiland from the Stone Temple Pilots, who really was like a big catalyst for me in a lot of ways, for a couple of things. It's like, one, my drug use got worse hanging out with him, but and not his fault by any means, it was my own doing. And what was cool about him is he believed in me. We had some kind of side little band we put together with a bunch of guys called Magnificent Bastards, cut one record, and then all the other guys were kind of jockeying for position with him, and he decided to fire everybody and keep me, because I was like, I don't give a fuck, like I just want to play some music. And I think he saw that.
You weren't jockeying.
I wasn't jockeying. I was like, I'm a drummer. I don't give like
totally.
Whatever. I'm not going to be in the pictures or like
Gotcha.
on the cover of magazines. I don't give a fuck.
Gotcha.
And then so he invited me to do his solo album with him, which was basically the two of us. And he let me play guitar and piano and bass and write songs with him. And it was an amazing experience. And from that, I got to meet Daniel Lanois, which changed everything again. Like there was just these little series of things. And during this time, the drug use just got really out of hand.
That was also, I would imagine, a strong bond between you and Scott.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
though it was funny, he would get mad at me because I was like more depressed. And he'd be like, man, if you're going to do this, have some fun. Have fun with it. Like, I was kind of like a sad sack. Like, I was pretty miserable. It's like, drugs for me were an escape. It wasn't a party. It was like, I had a lot of pain. Yeah. And I was trying to mask the pain. And so...
we're talking heroin.
Yes. Heroin, crack, whatever. It's like...
Whatever came through the door.
Whatever came through the door. But really, heroin really took me down. And
how many years?
Of using? I'm not sure. Maybe not that long. Maybe 4 years of using, and at the end, like really bad.
Long enough.
Yes, and I went in and out of rehabs, shit ton of rehabs, and always I would get out, and my main focus would be I want to see my son, and I want to go back to work, and I didn't focus enough on recovery, and so therefore I kept relapsing and going back and forth. And then finally, during the Scott record, at the very end of it, Daniel Lanois comes around, starts mixing the record. All of us get clean
together,
all around the same time. Yeah, it was a bunch of us.
Was it a pact or just coincidence?
No, sheer coincidence. And luckily for me, it stuck. And I've been clean almost 17 years. And unfortunately for a couple other guys, it didn't stick so well. But through that meeting, Daniel was a big deal for me, and became friendly with him. And then he invited me to play on the Willie Nelson record. And at this point, it's like where things kind of changed from like, I'd kind of given up on being in a band. It's like, all right, that's not going to happen. And I didn't know what else to do, but then I started getting asked to play on records, right?
And Teatro that was the big one. I mean,
that was a really big one. And it's funny, it's like that in a way is definitely like a highlight. I look back on that. I only had a couple months clean, so I'm like fucking scared shitless, right? It's like, and I'm in this room, I'm up in Daniel Lanois' studio, I'm like, I just remember looking around me, it's like, oh my God, there's Emmylou Harris, there's Willie Nelson and Daniel Lanois, and me. What the fuck am I doing here right now, right? It's like, I felt so out of place and scared, but excited. And I remember for that record, Daniel said to me, he's like, whatever you do, don't play anything typical. That was the only direction. And that scared me even more. I'm like, what the fuck? It's Willie Nelson. What do you mean don't play anything typical? And he didn't elaborate beyond that. So, and for that record, Willie would play the song one time, and then we would take it. And there would be no more than 2 or 3 takes of a song. So it's just all fresh, just as you heard it. No notes, no charts. He just did it. And it was so exciting.
Brilliant record.
Yeah, I love that record. You know, and then I got to do a little bit of touring. And also at that point was a turning point for me because touring and traveling with Willie, like, he kept offering me some weed. And it had been a dream. I was like, oh man, who wouldn't want to smoke some weed with Willie Nelson, right? But I was able to say no, because I knew what would happen to me. And at that moment, I was like, okay, if I can be here hanging out by myself with Willie Nelson and I'm turning a joint down, I'm cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm on the other side. This is going to be great.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then that, you know, it's funny. Like, each little thing led to another thing. And I don't know, that was really the start of getting to do sessions.
Yeah, Daniel Lanois.
Yeah.
What did come after Teatro for you? I mean, as far as you just
I
lose.
Think maybe the Rufus Wainwright record. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a blur, actually. To tell you the truth, it was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not sure what was directly after that. I know the next big touring thing was back after that, I think. And then the Macy Gray thing. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth.
It's a blur.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, anyone who's listening who doesn't know, if you were to check out Victor's credits on allmusic.com, it's just... It's sickening, Victor.
I feel like the Forrest Gump of rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know where Forrest is? He's in all these pictures with all his favorite people. Yes.
It's a little bit of zealot going on.
Yeah.
Just everywhere.
I have no idea who this fucking guy is, but he's been around all this cool shit. Yeah.
Totally.
That's me. That's totally me. And a lot of time, I don't know, it's like... the thing I wrestled with, like I was saying, that we were talking about earlier, is like a lot of fear, or not feeling like I was good enough, or shit, there's 1,000 other guys that are better than me. But I remember learning something, it was definitely a recovery thing, where it was like, the true meaning of courage is to do something even though you're afraid of it. And you do it anyways. And so that really drove me, and it's like, well, if these people are asking me to do it, fuck it, man. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the best that I can do, you know. And it's turned out pretty good.
Were you ever in that position where you were asking, like, why me? What is it?
Yeah, I you know, funny enough, I still feel that way a lot of times. Though I think now more I can see my value is like, I'll show up and I'll give 100% always. Even on stuff, I think the funny thing and the hard thing of being a guy, if your life takes the session guy path, you're going to play on some shit you don't want to play on. Mm-hmm. You're going to play on some stuff you don't like. And I've encountered that, but I always try to keep in mind those couple of things of like, one, I'm here to be of service. And I remember there was a beautiful Ray Charles quote, like I remember reading in his book that's like, he's like, all music is beautiful. You just have to sometimes you have to search a little harder to find what's beautiful about something, or what, you know, playing on Avril Lavigne's stuff, first record, that's some silly ass shit. Skater Boy, right? But it meant something to her, and she was there, and I saw that it meant something to her. And so seeing that made me try, and I was like, man, I'm going to give this my all. It's like, you know, maybe it's some silly ass shit, but it's like, it means something to her. I can find some meaning in it, you know, and that's what I try to do. Can I do it all the time? Maybe not. I don't know, you know, but and I think I've been lucky in the fact that when you record a lot of stuff and if you record a lot of pop songs, there comes a point where you feel like maybe you could blow your brains out. Like, I've played the same shit a million times. And I've been lucky enough where I feel like I've gotten asked to go on tour, or it's been a moment where I think, well, okay, if I feel like that, I need to figure out something to amuse myself and entertain myself and like do something different, right? If I get to a point where I feel like literally I'm doing the same things over and over, then I need to evaluate what I'm doing. Even, you know, but sometimes it's hard because you're being asked to do that.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know. It's like in those times, traveling for me has been the times I get to practice or learn something new.
Being on the road.
Yes. It's hard at home because I have kids and if I'm working to actually practice or to find time. But if I'm out traveling and I'm sitting around, I got a practice pad, then I'll actually start to do some shit and go, oh, okay, maybe I unlock some other little thing, or, you know, now it's interesting. Now you can go on YouTube and watch drummers, and usually that leads to a deep depression because I'm watching some kid do some shit where I'm like, fuck, man, I could never do that in a million years. But then I'll think of something, I'll see something that somebody does. I'm like, oh man, that's really cool, and maybe I can take that into my thing. And
yeah. It's true. The depression. YouTube rabbit hole
YouTube,
depression.
yes. Yeah.
Before you were saying to me, we were talking about the way things are in the business today,
Yeah.
and how you saw it coming. You were saying,
Yeah.
like years back.
I did. I don't know how or why I saw it, but I saw something. There was a guy I was sharing a studio with, and I remember thinking, wow, if he would lower his rates a little bit right now, he would get a lot more work, or we could do a lot more things in here. But he was very rigid. He came from an old school, and he's like, I need to make this much a day, and this needs to happen. And I just saw, once people started stealing music, I was like, wow, this is, how do you stop this? It's not going to stop, and it's only going to get worse. And I have so many mixed feelings about it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel, truthfully, but I do know, in a practical way, I have children and I'm a guy, and it's like, if I have to work twice as hard playing drums, call the fucking ambulance, you know? It's like, big deal.
Wham.
Yeah, no one's gonna cry for me for that. But it's like, if I have to work harder for it, I will. I was always willing to work hard anyways.
Yeah.
And
Scrappy.
Are
you working twice as hard?
Yes, because it takes twice the amount of work to make the same amount of money you could make even 5 years ago. And the amount of work has just changed because the amount of records that are being made has changed.
So it's not a question of you used to work more because of the budget allowed it to. You're saying, no, you're working just as much, if not twice as more.
Yes.
Just to...
Yes. It's just different. So it's like, you know, things changed. You know, you hear it a million times. I've heard it on your podcast. You talk to drummers. It's like, it used to be when I was first making records, you're locked out for 2.5 weeks, maybe a month, and you're going to make a record. And it's like, we'll take all the time in the world to do drums and figure all this shit out. And that got shorter and shorter to now you're lucky if something lasts more than a day, right? And many times you're asked to do an album in a day. I've done a bazillion things where it's like, all right, we're going to cut 12 songs today? Fuck, all right, here we go. And you just do it. Or, you know, you cut an album in 2 days. And you just do it. Or maybe it's a batch of songs, and maybe I have to book another batch after that, or like whatever it takes. I have to do it. And I'm happy to do it on some level, and on another, I wish I'd been born a little earlier to get some more of that heyday time. You know, there was a time like, man, after during that Avril Lavigne period where the Matrix, that production team was hot, man, I was like making some fucking good money. some stupid money for a minute. You know, to get played on a track, you could say some dumbass shit. It's like, yeah, man, I want, you know, whatever, this much to play on your track, or like, and people would do it for a minute. Now they'd laugh, right? It's like, but
you had a taste of that.
I had a small taste of it. Not, you know, there are a lot of guys that had a bigger taste of it for sure.
Sure,
but I got to experience, and I, like I said, like I still feel super lucky to play music at all. Like somebody still wants me to play. Like I'm 20 years into it now, maybe. Like I'm 46 years old, and people want to hire me. Great, I'm super excited. Yeah.
Are there times where you can say, no, I'm not doing that, or do you just feel like there's no sense in saying no? Basically?
Yes and no. I don't feel like I have the same luxury as some other guys, and so I don't have the luxury. I have 3 kids. It's like I don't have the luxury of saying no. I never got to be the cool guy. Like I want to be the cool guy and say, fuck you, this music sucks, I don't want to fucking play on your record. I just can't do it. It's never been part of my thing. So it's like I never had that luxury.
It's not part of your work ethic.
It's not part of my work ethic, and it's like, and I never was that guy. It's like I don't want to, like, you know.
I've heard this so much, you know. Like guys, they hit a level where they go, I've earned this now, and I don't have to do certain things. And
maybe, you know what? Honestly, if I maybe felt more financially secure, maybe I would say that. Maybe there'd be some calls to be like, hey, fuck you, I don't want to do this. Like, because there are some things I have to do sometimes that I don't want to do, but
it's work.
I just look at it in a different way. Exactly. Give me a break. That's the way I look at it, right? It's like, please, there are people fucking digging ditches. It's like, I'm not digging a ditch. I'm like playing on a song. It's like, it's not going to fucking hurt me.
Beats, waiting tables?
Yes. There are way worse things. So it's like, come on. To me. But I also, like, you know what? If you didn't have to do it, I could see that too, I suppose, you know. I've just never been in that position. So honestly, I don't know. I can't say.
No, but that's good. That's good to hear, actually. It's refreshing, quite frankly. Getting back to real quick the thing about learning to read and all that, I'm just curious. How did you do that?
It's funny. I'm still doing it. There's a great app that I use called Read Rhythm. That's been really helpful. Like I said, like I had a basic idea of a lot of rhythms from junior high. And then a lot of that I had kind of retained. I go through periods of like buying books and trying, and I've taken a couple lessons now from guys periodically. Like I went and sat with I got together with Greg Bissonette, which was pretty amazing. What a amazing guy, an amazing person. And what I love about drummers generally is that they're very willing to share their time and their knowledge with you. And so I went out to his house, and he's got 2 kits, and I got to sit up like right across from each other, and we got to play a little bit, and it was so amazing. And to me, a lot of times that's how I can learn. I must have like ADD or something wrong with me, that it's like I can't sit and focus for too long. But at small chunks of time, I can watch a guy and go, oh, okay, I get that, and that's it. And then I got to move on, and maybe in another couple months I'll learn something else. But he was so gracious and so kind, and what an amazing musician.
Yeah,
an amazing fucking musician. Like he can do it all. It's like I want to do that, and if I could come back again and do this all again, the thing I would do is probably spend more time studying. I'd cut out the drug doing part and do more studying.
If only it were that easy, right?
Yes. Yeah. But, you know, there's different things. Like, in some ways I'm grateful that maybe I wasn't a schooled guy, because maybe that gave me a different thing that made me, maybe made people want to hire me, because I wasn't so precise, or maybe there was a little more rough edges. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. And also, the great thing is, like in life, you know, you can always learn, and you could keep learning. And to me, that's why I still love playing drums, is because there's still a lot more to learn. I've still got a long way to go. I don't feel at all like I've got this mastered. Like, Like, that's what I wonder. Like, what does it feel like to be Vinnie Colaiuta, who can, like, read amazing, could play anything he could think of. The guy can play shit, you know, in different time signatures with different limbs. Like, is he still excited? Does he still feel like there's more to learn? I'd love to ask him that. It's like, but I feel like shit. I got a long. There's a shit ton I can still learn. So
yeah,
I feel still excited by drums.
That's good.
You know?
Have you gone through periods where you weren't?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Just making sure there's still a pulse. I'm just,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
Like, just to be clear,
no.
yeah.
No, and there's
times where you're like, oh, this is just.
Yeah, or like anything, like you just feel like you've gotten to a certain level with it, and it's hard. Like, I don't know. You can become complacent. I've become complacent at times, or felt like I was tapped out, or like I like everything. But luckily, there's something in me that just loves music so much, or playing with other people, like getting to play with a Jeff Babco, Sean Hurley, Lyle Workman, Dave Levita, all these great musicians where you're like, man, they inspire you. And you're like, man, you are so amazing and so musical. I want to be like that. I want to try harder. I want to make them smile on a session or do something, you know, that like get them grooving, you know.
You do, I guess.
I guess. I hope so.
Yeah,
you know?
Everyone seems to have a good word. I mean,
hi, Pam.
Very handsomely
Pam,
paid.
Yes, yeah.
Speaking of Babco, he wanted me to ask you 2 questions. The first was, I have no idea what I'm walking into here, but here I go. About Madonna's True Blue catalog number.
25442, Sire Records. Check it, it's true. I used to work at a record distribution place, and for some sick reason, like, I can't fucking remember like how to play drums half the time, but I can remember the numbers like on records, like, because that's what you do. You'd pull orders for record stores by the catalog numbers. So those are lodged in my brain.
So it's not just Madonna's True Blue. We could go
there's
through.
There's a ton of other ones in there.
We've got a Rain Man thing going
yes,
here.
it's fucked up. It's
That's
not cool.
fucking awesome.
It's not cool.
It's not cool at all. Useless information.
Yes,
yeah.
very useless. Yes.
What else can you retain? And there's got to be other things you can do.
It's funny. Like a lot of people, if you become passionate about something, I love computers, like Mac computers and shit like that. So like people call me up to help fix their computers because, you know, I have a fucking not even really a high school education, but for whatever reason, like I became very interested in computers and read a lot of books about them, and now I love video editing. Just
like Final Cut.
I love Final Cut. Yep, and I love cameras and shit. You know.
Do you do it more for fun, or is it also part of business? And
it's funny enough, I've actually started to get paid for like doing some videos and stuff, but it's purely like a passion. It's purely for fun.
Is that something that you research as far as, I mean, are you into film editing, and do you go down that?
I don't know. It's all kind of new, and it started maybe a couple years ago. I was on tour with Alanis Morissette, and I started filming a bunch of stuff, and then I was messing around with iMovie, and everything looked shitty, and I was like, I gotta learn Final Cut, and luckily I was on the road, so I had time, and I started YouTubing stuff and reading books. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, I really like doing this, and then started doing it more and more, and I just toured with an artist who they just offered to buy all my footage off of me, and
really,
and then asked me to do a little.
They bought your footage.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I just like it. I like doing it, and it also started doing. You know, you go on tour. I like to film everything to make a little video for everybody, so you have something to remember the tour by.
But I mean, suppose someone said that someone you knew, they're doing they're doing a music video, and they're like, hey Victor, actually we don't have an editor. Would you have any interest?
I've already done. I did a video for Alanis. I edited one for her husband.
So this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you enjoyed that.
I did a lot.
So if something like that were to keep, would you
another dying field?
Well,
video.
well,
why not?
Well, why not?
Yeah, why not?
You know?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know how far I'd ever go with it. I like doing it now. Will I like doing it next year? I have no fucking idea.
Right. Because if it became a job and that's when you were just stuck doing it,
yes,
hurt your wrists. And
yes, periodically doing it, and I feel really inspired to do it, then I love it. Could I do it all the time? Probably not.
Does it ever get any hand trouble? Do you ever get any pains?
God, luckily, not really. I think about that a lot.
But like working on the computer for a while, do you get that or no?
Sometimes, but not much. And I've been lucky with drums. Like, I haven't really had very many injuries, or like, I don't know. Starting to feel it in my back a little bit sometimes, but
yeah,
I'm just getting old. Just getting fucking old.
Getting fucking old over here. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. But that's good to have other interests, I would imagine. You've got to get out of this for a bit.
Yes, I think that's a good thing, and then always it makes me more passionate about drums again, because if I can step back from it for a minute, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I need to like think about this, or like I'm still excited about recording and like, you know, microphones and all of it. It just still, I don't know, I just still love it.
But you need sometimes to step away or get slightly disenchanted.
Yeah, to appreciate it. Always, with everything, right?
Why can't we figure out a way to do this with relationships? See, that's what we need to figure out.
Get me started. Get me started.
I just need to go away for a little while, and then I will be interested again, okay? You mentioned Alanis. We can just jump around a little. How does that come up?
Alanis came up because I was doing a lot of records with the guitar player David Levita, and when Blair decided to stay home, I got asked to do it, and I love her so much. And,
did he throw your name in the hat for that, or
Blair? No, I think it came from Dave.
Oh, okay.
Though I didn't really know Blair at that time that well, but since then, now Blair and I have become pretty good friends. And I love him, and I love his playing very much. And but yeah, I love her a lot. She's the real deal, and she's one of a handful of artists I've worked for that like is a genuinely great person and fun to be around, and no bullshit. And I would work with her anytime. I feel very lucky that the majority of people that I've gotten to work with are really some great people.
Have there been some nut jobs?
Yeah. Of course there has. You're looking for names?
If you want to. I mean, you know.
I don't know. I'll say this, that I'll give you a good one here. It's kind of well known for being hard on drummers. Was I worked on the Shakira's second record, which pretty much made me close to having a nervous breakdown. And I started smoking again. I hadn't smoked in a while. And it was one of those funny scenarios where they'd already been through like 3 drummers. I got flown up to Canada. And first, the producer's telling me one thing. It's like, hey, this track, I want it to be like this. Then she comes in, she wants it to be like something completely different. So you're like, okay, now I've got to try and walk the line between these 2 sets of directions. And then as the session went on, she started telling me what to do with each limb, and I just felt like I fell apart as a drummer. It's like, hey, maybe on the 3rd hit of the bass drum, hit a little lighter, and then with this foot, your left foot do this, and then with this and that, and I just felt like, wow, I don't know how to play drums anymore, right? And I literally went home in a serious depression, just thinking like, oh my God, I can't do this, I suck. And luckily I got out of it, and funny enough, I ended up working with her again this year, and I got called because she loved the track that we did so many years ago, and this time went great. And
there was no left foot does this, no hokey pokey,
not at all,
if you will.
And it went amazing. But at that time, I literally felt like, wow, I don't know how to do this anymore. And I feel like that can happen on any given day. Like,
you just kind of crush your confidence. And
yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm a guy that's like, I'm not super confident to begin with. So if something like that can just fuck with me. And to me, playing drums and specifically recording is so mental. Maybe even playing live too. There's like a mental aspect to it that it's like on any given day, it doesn't matter how good you were yesterday. You've got to be great again today, right? And you've got to be great right away.
Yeah.
Because to me, I've always assumed that while I'm getting sounds, they've already made up their mind about me. When I go in there and I'm starting just to play, they already know. The producer already knows if he likes you or not, based on what you're playing, how you're hitting, right? And maybe that's true, maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not true for me at this point, but there was a time for sure that was the case, and you could feel it. And also a time where...
Did you have a sense of those times where you did that and then felt like, yeah, he doesn't like me?
I think so. It's so hard to say what's real, what's not real, but I also remember there was a time in late 90s, early 2000s where shit was still so overblown that I remember there was one producer that was convinced that, that it would take 3 drummers to make the track, right? It's like one guy could play the verse, one guy would play the chorus, and one guy would play the bridge. So on any given day, you're walking down the hall, and there's Josh Freeze, and there's Joey and myself, or maybe Matt, and and who knows, we'd all play on the same kit, and who knows who ended up on what section. It's like I was always curious, like, was I the verse guy or was I the chorus guy? I don't know. Like,
they just told you you're on that tune.
Yes,
somewhere in there.
Yeah. And it was also the time of if they didn't like, they could try it. There are so many great drummers in town. It's like all great, and all will have it. It'll feel different. So we'll have them all.
Fuck it, we'll have them all.
We'll have them all. They'll all take a pass and see who lands on it. I don't think it's like that anymore, just because budgets aren't like that.
Right.
They have to make a decision now.
Yeah.
But there was... that shit would happen.
But you have dealt with people who have not been kind to
Yeah, yes, I have seen. Yeah, it's yes, of course. I've seen people be assholes. I've seen people being great. By 20 years into this, I've seen it all. Mm-hmm. I feel like it, and I don't think anybody's actually ever been mean to me personally, to tell you the truth. Like, I feel like I don't feel like I've ever been...
It's never been directed at you.
Not directed at me. Do I feel like I've been almost abused on the sessions? Sometimes. Sometimes you might run into a producer who wants to show off, or I don't know, masochistic. I don't know. Mm-hmm. There's you'll run into all kinds of scenarios, but it's also been my experiences that those people don't hang around very long. They might have their moment, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
That kind of...
We were talking about that earlier.
That kind of shit comes in. It'll come back at you, I think,
But we were talking about that earlier, even with we were talking more about session cats, I guess. But that idea of... you don't see much of that anymore.
No, the rock star thing is kind of gone. Nobody has the time to deal with that. Or, I don't know. Is anybody that good that they don't... there's so many great players. It's like, if you're going to be a dick, shit, there's another great player. Let's call Joey. Yeah. Let's call Matt. Let's call Aaron. Let's call Blair. Let's call whoever. It's like, fuck you. I don't need to put up with their shit. It's like... So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that exists in the same way, or... I don't know.
Did you have an edge of that, though, back in the day?
Not that I was ever around. I've heard tales of some of the older generation of guys would say hey, I gave you the take, that's it, and people would have to deal with it. But I never saw any of that. And certainly my generation of guys, I don't think.
The Orson Welles, the right reading is the one I'm giving you.
Yes. Yeah. No, have I felt like that? I felt like that many times. You play something, you're like, all right, I just gave it to you, and then they want to keep doing takes or whatever, and you're like, fuck. We drove by it, a while ago.
Right.
But I would have to say that's rarer. That's not the norm. But it does happen now. And those are the times that for me, I have to take a deep breath and go, okay, you're here to be of service, man. That's it. You were hired to do a job, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's...
Right, never slam the sticks down and said, I'm out of here.
No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Because also, I don't know, like, who am I to say? Like, because also there have been times where maybe I thought there was a take, and then maybe 4 takes later, maybe there was a better take. I don't fucking know. It's like...
But you get that a lot today? Where it's like, okay, can you give me one where I'm telling you what I want, and then there's this, and then at the end, all right, Victor, let's just, now you...
Yes.
You take a pass. And
yes, that happens a lot. And I'm very lucky that, like, you know what? 8 out of 10 times, if somebody's hiring me, they already know what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain level of trust. But then again, there'll be some time you'll work with somebody. And then maybe they even want to just, like, fuck with you a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I can imagine. And I've talked to other guys that, like, they're like, hey, let's see what we can get this guy to do. Or, like, you know.
Like what? What would be?
I don't know. Like, you know, I mean, I would say, for example, if I was a producer and I hired Matt Chamberlain, am I going to tell Matt Chamberlain what to do? Right? To me, it's like if I'm hiring Matt's like he's an artist. I would let Matt do his thing, right? And if then like to go on and try and make him do something that's not him, to me that would be fucking with him. It's like, why?
Right.
Why?
If
you wanted something else, hire the guy that does something else, right?
Yeah.
Because there are so many different flavors of guys, and everybody does something different. Hire that guy, right? It's like there are guys great at so many different kinds of things. It's like if I was a producer, it's like I could see, hey, this track, man, I want Joey Warniker for that track. Oh man, this track, I want Aaron Sterling for this track. Oh, I want Matt for this track. I want, you know, I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And sometimes guys who just want something different on purpose, right?
Maybe.
It's so not Victor Indrizzo. I want Victor Indrizzo.
Maybe, and but to me, again, like, whatever. It would all be fair enough. And sometimes I would get excited by that because then I'm going to do something that I'm not used to doing.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I'm going to learn something, and then maybe it unlocks a whole other new thing. So it's like I'm open to all that stuff. As long as you're nice about it, right?
Yeah. What decides for you the decision to go on the road?
A lot of times money, to be honest. Like it depends. I have to read a scenario and look around, and
depends who's going, who is it,
depends
how are we
who's
traveling.
going. Yes, you know, is this good for my family? Is this good for me? And a lot of times it's scary to leave because you feel like you lose your place, right? And I've been lucky where it's almost been the opposite. Like I've come back and I've gotten busier because I was gone. And I think things just kind of ebb and flow in this town. Like there are a handful of guys that are probably the same handful of guys who've been working in this town for a decade, right? And each guy on any given month or any given year is probably the guy who's getting the most work, right? And so it changes all the time. And so maybe I had a bunch of months where I was doing a bunch of work, and then it's going to be like, we're kind of fucking sick of this guy. Let's get the other guy in here, right? It's like, let's get something a little different. Then you go away, and then they're like, it's you. We missed you. Yeah, come on back. Like, I've watched guys like that, like a Kurt Pescara. I remember even talking to Jim Keltner about it, and he's just like, it's ebbs and flows, and just trying not to panic and try to make the right decisions. And talking to Lee Sklar about, he was saying in the 90s, like, he made a good decision for him to go out on the road with Phil Collins because he saw a moment where it seemed like sessions were slowing down. Then he comes back and then he's hotter than ever. And it's a funny thing, all of this. It's like, I think people that do this for a living, it's a unique thing where it's like, we don't know if we're working the next day. You don't know if you're working next week. It's like the phone just has to ring. I can't call somebody up and say, hey, hire me. Hey, it's been a while. Why don't you hire me? You can't do that. You literally just have to wait for the phone to ring.
But can you, or do you were just out of town. You were in Italy for a while.
Yeah.
Can you come back into town and call up some producer friends? Hey, just I'm back, or do you not do
I
it?
generally don't do that.
Now, are you a Facebook, Twitter kind of guy?
I'm not on Facebook,
Right.
and I am not on Twitter.
Love it. So there you are. Exactly. You're not the guy going, "Hey, just flew back from Italy.
Right.
Whoo! Sure is good to be back." You know?
Yes. Maybe I should be. I don't know.
No, I don't think you should be.
I don't know.
Don't go down that.
No, I don't do that.
So it's just word of mouth.
It's all word of mouth, and that's all it's ever been. And it's like,
When you have a website.
I have a website.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? I have no fucking idea. I have no fucking idea. No, I have gotten work occasionally from that, but that's pretty funny, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's been my experience that there's no amount of like.
Jeff Porcaro was never on Facebook.
Yeah, people either think of you or they don't.
Yeah.
And it's always based on the last thing they did with you, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you were great that day, they're gonna call you back, hopefully, right?
You're only as good as your last session.
It really is true, and that's to me like the pressure of it all is like doesn't matter, man. Maybe today I was great, tomorrow I might suck ass, right? And it's like,
Does it happen though?
Do I suck ass? Fuck yeah! I have days where I definitely feel like, man, I was not at 100%. Absolutely, it's happened many times.
Because of just physical stuff, maybe? Like, I'm
know.
feeling lethargic today. And just
not so much that. Any time for me, unfortunately, it's been my own shit. It's fear. Fear is a horrible, horrible thing. And
it's like defending your life where you're going,
yeah, it's just not a good place to come. Music should be from your heart and come from a loving place. And if you're coming from a fearful place, it's just not going to be good. And maybe on those days I was passable, but I know those days. And
yeah,
for me, a lot of times those days have come on movie sessions because I felt intimidated by my reading. I hate the fucking MPC click because I can't hear it loud enough because I'm probably fucking deaf. I need a cowbell like Craigie, right? And so whatever it is, you know, or there was some weird bar that maybe I fucked up the first time it went by, but it puts me in a little spiral and I'm like, fuck, you know, shit, I could have been better. You know, I wish it would have been better.
Can you catch yourself?
Yeah, some days yes and some days no, right? It's and it's in a or I'll be playing a show, and it's funny because I've talked to my son about this. I actually even wrote him a letter recently, an email, because I always tell him he has trouble with the same thing where it's like you play a show, you make a mistake, probably nobody noticed, but it sends you into the spiral where you can't even enjoy the rest of the show, right? And I'm like, fucking hate that. So I always tell him like, I've been able over time to just let it roll off my back. And then cut to a couple weeks ago, I was playing a show, did something stupid, and it stuck with me the whole fucking show. And I wrote him afterwards, and I'm like, I'm a fucking hypocrite. I'm sorry. I love you. It happens. Like, what can you do? You just try and move on the next day and try and do better.
It's like you said, days. Yeah. Good days and bad days.
Good days and bad days.
Ebbs and flows again.
Yeah, I wish. I mean, I meet guys, and I don't know if it's true or not, that seem so confident all the time. And I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I was that guy. Because when you're that confident and you're not in fear, you can do things. Like on those days when I'm not afraid and I feel like I'm really good, man, then I am really good. Right? And on the days where I don't feel so good, sometimes I can hide it and I can still be good. And other times I'm just not as good. Just the way it is, you know. Luckily, maybe I'm good enough that it's passable to get me to the next gig. But it's like, I don't know.
Have you ever on a session said, look, I'm just not the right. I mean, I'm trying, and I you know who you should call so and so.
I haven't done it on a session. I have done it when people have called me for something. I think I got called once for like a serious swing movie thing, and they told me what it was, and I was like, look, I'm just not the guy. I'm really not. There are guys who will do this way better, and I did do it once. I did it last year for some percussion thing. I'm not a percussion player, really. I can play some tambourine and some shakers. Great. But when you're getting into fucking djembe and all that shit, like, I'm not your guy. So I told the guy even beforehand, he's like, oh no, come down, it's going to be great. And it was some South African thing where I heard it and I was like, nope, this is not me. And I know the guy that can do this. So I gave him the number and it all worked out. But generally, no. Generally, you know, if somebody's calling me, they know what I can do or what my wheelhouse is. And, you know.
Yeah.
Generally, shit's not that hard. But I'm not getting called for fucking bebop records or like, you know, it's just not my thing.
Are you an equipment snob?
I am not, because I grew up, and this is a good thing to talk about, because I think the way I grew up prepared me for session life in my era, right? I had such shitty drums, and I also had to figure out how to keep them quiet most of the time, so I didn't drive my family crazy, that I would put towels on them, I would do weird shit to them to try and make them sound good, right? Now, in the 80s and even early 90s, it wasn't about treating your drums so much, right? It was like you have this, your drums are this generic sound, open sound. Luckily, when my generation of guys, it became about, oh, let's make the drums sound weird, or make them sound like drum machines, or make them sound just odd. So it became about, how do you tape up this thing? How do you tune this thing weird? And let me put a bunch of paper on my snare. Let's do some different things. And I just took all the things that I learned as a kid and applied them and came up with cool stuff, and people enjoyed that. And that's become part of my thing of, like, you know, I have some weird drums and I can get weirder sounds, and it's why I'm such a big fan of Matt Chamberlain, man. He's like the king, you know, he's got great sounds and he thinks outside of the box, and I love that shit. Like, you just think of different things to bang on and things that make different sounds, and I think that's a big part of like showing up to a session now, is like not only your playing but your sound, and how you can get the sound that somebody's looking for fast, right? Fast. Yeah. You're saying you're gonna describe it in some obscure way, you know, I need to sound like, I don't know, like a fucking sidewalk, you know, and then you've got to interpret this and make it happen. Yeah. I need to sound like a dirty sidewalk.
No, that's interesting though, because I mean, obviously you've got your house kit here.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of different.
I mean, you've got stuff here that just.
Yeah,
you have all you need.
I have all I need. But you know what? And by the same token, it's funny, like, I've always felt, and I learned this early on, you know, you would get backline kits that would just be the worst pieces of shit. So it was like, man, give me a roll of fucking duct tape and I'll make anything sound good. I'll figure it out.
It's a very New York attitude.
Yes, you just have to. It's like,
well, I said it because of the backline is everywhere.
Yes, always. And so I didn't want to be the guy that just sat there and bitched about how shitty everything was. It's like, no, give me a fucking roll of duct tape. I'm gonna figure this out. Give me a drum key, roll of duct tape. We're good. I'll make it happen. And those sorts of things are invaluable. And I think that's a great thing for young guys or drummers to just figure out how to get different kinds of sounds and do different things, so you can have your sound and your character, and you know.
Right, it doesn't have to be your drums, your sizes, right?
No, and that's the thing. There are times I've gone to Miami to do records, and man, they had the worst fucking cartage gear. I was like, man, are you kidding me right now with this shit? It's like the worst shit. So I was like, fuck. All right, we're going to need paper towels, duct tape, we're going to need a screwdriver. Come on, like, stat, let's get on this. Like, you figure it out, and you make it work.
Who are some guys that you've? I mean, you mentioned Keltner.
Yeah.
Have you ever just gotten a chance to hang out and pick his brain and you kind of?
I got to meet him a couple times. One time I got to play on a record with Brad Meldown. It was Matt Chamberlain, Keltner, and myself. All three of us playing at the same time. And man, I was just shitting my pants. One of those moments too where you're like, oh my god, am I really playing with these guys right now? And he's just so kind and so such a nice man and such an amazing musician. And I met him again when I was playing with Sheryl Crow. Like, he came to a show, and man, I was flying high because he came backstage and, you know, said some really nice things, and I was like, okay, I can die now. Like Jim Keltner said, you know, I don't know if he was full of shit or what, but he was like, it was to get a compliment from him was like I was over the moon.
Yeah.
And
would you say he's your guy?
He's definitely one of the guys. I'd say James Gatson is one of my heroes. And really, Stevie Wonder is probably one of my all-time favorite drummers too. Still, I find myself always going back to those Stevie Wonder records and just how musical his drumming is and was. It's like, and all the rules get broken where it's like, you know, it's not the hi-hat for the verse, it's the hi-hat, then the ride, then back to the hi-hat for a verse, or maybe none of those things. It's all just for the song. And it's just beautiful playing. But Keltner's like that. There's so many great players. Brian Blade. I love Brian Blade. Oh my God. I remember seeing him play with Daniel Lanois, and I was just like, why am I playing drums? That guy just did everything I ever thought I wanted to do. He's doing it right. Why go on?
Yeah. Daniel, it was nice.
Yeah, it was. Thanks. I got to play with him as well one time. Like,
right, well.
Double drums, and it was just amazing. There's so
he
many.
knows what he wants, right? Daniel Lanois, or is he also, it's about, let's explore?
He lets you explore, but he also knows what both, really.
Yeah.
He'll give you enough leash to hang yourself. Yeah, there's so many great guys, and it's funny. That's the thing I like for me. There's just so much. There's so much to learn, and for me, it's funny. I know a lot of guys who talk about this a lot too. Session guys that feel competitive with other guys, and for me, I don't ever feel a sense of competition, and I think it comes from the era I grew up in, where there were so many A guys, and I was so low on the totem pole. It was like I was just fucking happy to be doing anything, right? And so I just felt grateful. And then I also just realized along the way that, like, there are so many different things, and everybody has their own voice. Why wouldn't you want to use other people, you know? Yes, do I want to work all the time? Of course I do. But I also get it if, like, somebody wants to use this guy on one song or this guy for that. It's like, I would too if I was producing a record. And times I have produced stuff, I have hired other drummers. It's like, there's just so much to go around. And getting caught up in that whole thing of, like, that energy of, like, that competitiveness just doesn't do you any good. It just doesn't. For me.
Yeah, that serves you well. I mean, obviously.
For now, we'll see.
Maybe to get real nasty in a couple of months.
Yeah, who knows?
Become a real
Shit's
SOB.
Getting bad, man.
Indrizzo's become a real prick.
Taking drummers out, fucking baseball bat to the kneecaps. That's, you know.
Hey. Let's get that Italian thing going.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yes.
You know?
I'm working on it.
Speaking of that, Kirky B called you the Godfather.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
This is a term of endearment.
I don't know. You know what's exciting now for me is, like, I've reached an age or whatever where it's like I have a lot of younger drummers reaching out to me, and I really love it. I really do. I love meeting with guys and talking to them, and just finally feeling like I have something to pass along. Because I don't feel like I felt like that for a long time.
You feel like an elder statesman.
A little bit, I do. And I feel like I love talking to guys about drums and, like, and recording and all that stuff. And I wished that, and I don't know, again, this might have been my own fault that I didn't know other guys, or I just never ran across those guys, because I have heard tales of, like, Jeff Porcaro being so amazing to, like, Kirk, you know, and I never had that. I never had, like, the mentor guys that I could.
There was never a guy you reached out to? And
No, I just never even thought about that. I don't know. Like, now it's amazing. You can get a hold of anybody, right? Everybody's reachable. Back then it seemed too crazy. Like, oh, am I going to get a hold of Andy Newmark and ask him questions? I don't want to bother him, or, like, you guys going to think I'm a fucking weirdo. I don't know. Like,
Right. And now they can just find your website
Now, yes, that's the one way I am reachable. But now I think about that. It's like, wow, well, maybe I would reach out to Andy Newmark, and I would love to talk to him. And I love talking to guys and just hearing their stories and their experience. And like I said, this is why I love your show so much. It's like just hearing it, like, I want to hear that stuff. All of us do, right? And the thing where it's not overly edited like a lot of magazine articles or like, you know. Never mind. Never mind.
Overly edited. Yeah. So, where were we? Now the other thing was the bass player thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned some guys before, and I was that idea of,
yeah,
locking in.
Yeah, there's a thing that happens, right, with certain bass players, and obviously, like, I share this place with Sean Hurley, and I fell in love with Sean, and the guys that I love playing with, I also love playing with Kurt Schneider very much. All the guys that I love playing with sit behind the drums. They sit right behind your kick drum, and it's such a hard thing to do because a lot of times drummers are the ones laying back. And what I find so many times, there are guys, great guys, but they'll play right on top of you, and it just sounds different to when the bass player is sitting right behind you. It makes you sound so fat and so good. And I always think about that. The tour I just did, like playing with Kurt sat behind the drums so amazingly the whole time that it makes you sound great, right? So it's like people come and they go, "Oh my God, you sounded so great." It's like, I wouldn't fucking sound so great if he wasn't sitting right there, right, making it sound so fat, right? It's like, bass is so super important. And finding that people that you can play with where you don't have to talk about it. That's what I love. If you're a bass player and you and I are talking about the kick pattern, we've already lost. If we're talking about like what we should be doing, we've already lost the plot. It's like,
right.
To me,
all those guys, it was just from day one.
Day one, the first time you play with them, and it's just like...
it's chemical reaction?
Yes, it's chemical reaction.
Right?
Yes.
It's you two together, that's what happens.
Yes. You just find those things where you just click with somebody, and... but it's so important to find the right bass player. It really is. To me, it just makes everything just sound so much better.
I'm having all these non-drummers on. I was asking them all, like, hey, these guys have been on a lot of sessions, the Babcos, the LaFaves, asking them if they see guys who come in who they feel like, what the fuck is he doing here?
Right.
I never really asked a drummer that.
I think it happens occasionally, and it would be more on projects that are like called the vanity projects. Where it's like somebody, it's self-funded, or like daddy's paying, and they're they want their bass player, they want this one person who maybe shouldn't be there. But I think generally, if you're somebody getting hired by a producer, and especially in this day and age, you've probably earned the right to be there, and you're
right.
You can cut the mustard.
So it's only in those instances usually.
As far as I can think of, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to think right now. I just don't think in this day and age. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't fucking be there. I don't know. Maybe I'm the guy. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, I don't think so. No, it's too tight now. And that's the disappointing thing to me about now. Is like, I have guys that are younger drummer friends of mine who are fucking great. And there are times that I have recommended them for stuff I can't do. And the guys don't take the recommendation because they don't have a bunch of credits.
Right. They look them up and it's like, well,
it's like, this guy hasn't done anything. And it's like, how is he supposed to do anything if he never gets the chance? Yeah. Where it was different, where there were so many records being made when I started out that you got a chance. You got a chance.
Is there such thing today as even making that a goal, or do you think that's just that would be a bad idea?
I don't, in a way I was thinking about that I don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I don't know. That's too hard to say.
Because you kind of sounds like a lot of it for you. You fell into some things. I mean,
absolutely.
Right?
I
You just kept work begets work. You just met him.
Yes, and I think like anything, if you really want it, if you want to be a session guy, you want to record, then fucking record yourself. Play on everybody's demos and listen back and see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong. Ask the engineer what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and just keep doing it until you really feel comfortable with what you're recording. And then maybe you could get gigs. That's, for me, it was always the engineers. Those were the guys that recommended you. My start was always from like, I'd get a call like, hey, I'm working in this engineering, we need a drummer, we couldn't get Josh, we couldn't get so-and-so. Engineer says you're great. You want to come down and do this? Great. And then you work, and then that producer sees that you're good, and then it goes snowballs from there. But it was always the engineers. Still is. And it's so funny. It's like, now I've seen guys that were runners at studios are now producers, right? It's like, be nice to those guys. Those are going to be your fucking bosses one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if you want to record and do that, man, you just got to do it, because you're not going to get the same opportunities as there was before, or you might luck into getting to do a record. But even I think I started out playing on a bunch of demos and all that shit.
Yeah, well,
you figure it all out, But I don't know.
Is the touch different when you do studio versus live?
Yes, and an interesting thing I think is that touch has even changed over the years, to the degree of, like, I remember when I first started doing, I think I did my first record in '89, and it used to be at that time engineers wanted you to hit as hard as you can. That was like the thing. It's like, hit hard. Now if you walked into a session hitting as hard as you can, they'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing, right? Except occasionally. And so part of the job to me is like reading the room, reading the engineer. What kind of music is this? Am I going to tune my drums open? Am I going to make my drums dead? Am I going to hit really soft? Am I going to fucking hit this shit hard? Like, what is it? What am I looking at? And I think that's part of the job now, is like reading the room, reading the scenario, and read it fast. Like, figure that out. But yes, when I play live, I hit 10 times harder than I do. Or I try to make it look like I'm hitting hard. The older I get, I'm just making it look like that. Yeah.
As long as they think so.
Yes. But yeah, there's a different touch for studio, for sure. And I enjoy both of them, because playing live is definitely, it's more of a physical thing where you can really, like, can rock, and that's really fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's more, you want to have a little more finesse when you're recording. You just don't need to do that. And to me, that's important, to learn how to do all of those. And I remember, I think that there have been times where I've gotten jobs because I could hit hard when I needed to hit hard. Because there are guys that, like, they learned their whole life to hit a certain way, and they're hitting really delicate. And then when it comes to having to rock, they can't do it, or it feels awkward to them.
Yeah.
I felt very lucky that I had so many different opportunities to try it all, and to know when to do that, right? That was really fun.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, obviously helpful.
Yeah.
By the way, this is still you?
Yeah, this is
we're
that
hearing?
TV show.
Yeah.
He's spending weight. He cares too much. He does. I tell him all the time.
Gotta toughen this kid up.
Yes, he just cares. He wants to make it really good.
What do you have plans as far as, are you booked for the rest of the year?
Yes and no. Sessions are always a funny thing where they're never booked too far out in advance. They never have been for me. Sometimes they'll be booked a month in advance, and sometimes literally I can look at a week, it'll look like I have nothing, and then by Monday my week is filled. It's very stressful and very bizarre. But then this year I do know that I'm going to go away for June and July, and I'll have another little run at the end of November. and that's rare, to tell you the truth.
So more things could feasibly come up, as far as even road work.
They could. They probably won't. They probably won't. I turned something down recently that would have been a long tour. I'm not really interested in
how long a tour was that going to be?
It would have gone into next year.
Like starting soon, you mean?
Yes. And for me, unless the money was insane and it was something that I was truly over the moon about, like
right.
I want to be here. I have this great studio. I have my kids.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to be here more than to be on the road, unless it's something I really love.
So the money wasn't great and the music wasn't that
The
great.
money was good. It was good, and the music was good, but it wasn't like And I have these other options right now that are equally as good, and the money's a little bit better, and I don't know. It's
Have you ever been up for something where, like a big thing, big audition, or it was just, this could be big,
yes.
and you went through some steps and it just didn't pan out?
Oh God, I have the best story about that, actually. Very early on. I got, what year? This had to be 92 maybe. 92 or 93. So I'm still like, I'm at the very beginning of stuff still. And working in a record warehouse, and I get asked to audition for the Cult, right? Who were fucking huge at that time, right? They're still like they're huge, right? So this is
Charlie Drayton played bass on those records, right? Is that?
I think so. I'm not sure, but like so this is life changing, right? To get this gig, right? So I audition, I go through a couple stages of the audition thing, and they're like, "You have the gig. You're our guy."
Well, okay, wait. But let's back real quick. How did you even get into this?
I don't even remember how I got the call. Some cattle call kind of deal.
Okay.
Oh, no, I do know, actually. It was from an A&R guy who saw me play at a club and was like, "What are you doing playing at clubs?" That's what the guy, I remember him saying. Okay, I remember this.
Okay.
Says, "You need to audition," and blah, blah, blah. So I get this audition, go through the many levels. I've got the gig, right? So I'm showing up to the first day. I've told everybody where I work that I.
So you played with the Cult, in other words, you did jam with them. Okay.
Yes. This gets good. So then even I tell everybody at my job, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a big rock star. This is amazing." And then I go to the first rehearsal, and it was just me and the guitar player Billy Duffy. And I go, "Hey man, you want to jam?" And he goes, "I don't jam." And he puts his guitar down, walks out, and then I get a phone call saying that I'm not in the band. And I was devastated. And I had to go back and tell everyone, like, "I'm not in the band. It was devastating at that point.
Holy shit.
But that was pretty funny. Yeah.
So that you feel the fatal flaw was, "Hey man, you want to jam?"
Yes, he didn't want to jam.
Like if we get time machine back. Seriously.
No, I think ultimately it's better not to have been in the Cult. I feel pretty good about it, actually.
Would this have been when Matt Sorum was in?
I can't remember the exact time. I don't know if it was before him or after him, or it was at some time where it was a big deal to like have gotten the gig, and felt like the end of the world, but luckily it wasn't. And I don't know. It's such a different thing of being like in a band, right? I don't know. For me, I don't think I would have ever truly been satisfied being in a band. And the way I grew up listening to so many different kinds of music, that was the great thing about my childhood. I don't want to say just all bad things, because my mom was like this amazing hippie woman who played all these different kinds of music. So I grew up listening to really a wide variety of stuff. And I loved it all and wanted to play it all. And anytime I was in a band, I always felt like, well, I don't want to just be this guy. I don't want to just be a punk guy, or I don't want to be just this guy.
Yeah.
I like it all. And like, so that has been the amazing thing of like getting to do so many records and different kinds of stuff, is that every day it'll be something different, hopefully.
Is there something that you still feel like it eludes you, a certain thing that you're like?
Oh, I mean, I wish, my fantasy is that I could be like a jazz guy. I wanted that so bad, but I am not a jazz. I couldn't play jazz fucking if my life depended on it. Seriously, I just didn't learn it. I don't know, for whatever reason. So I wish I could do that. Like I watched a guy like Gary Novak. Like Gary's amazing. Gary can play rock and he can play true jazz, like amazing. Like I wish I could do that, but I think that ship has sailed for me. I just listen.
She's like, I'm not even going to try.
I'm not even going to try at this point. I think I had moments where I was like, I really wanted to try, and I don't know. I remember even talking with other, I have some friends that were, jazz guys. I still have friends that are jazz guys, and
some of my best friends are jazz guys.
Some of my best friends. My Babco's a jazz guy.
Babco's a jazz guy, but also an '80s guy. And also
he's an everything guy.
He's an everything guy.
He is truly an amazing.
That's the thing.
Musician.
He's an amazing musician. Exactly. Yeah.
In person, he is.
Yep.
One of my favorite people on the planet.
I get it.
Yeah.
And he said the same about you.
Yeah.
It's a love fest. He wanted me to ask you about his melodica playing.
I can't say that now. Okay, I can tell this story. He would fuck my shit up on the Sheryl Crow tour, right? We would play "Strong Enough," which is "Strong Enough to Be My Man."
Yes, I know it. Yes,
tender love ballad,
yes.
Right? So he's playing melodica on it, and we were right next to each other, like. And so he would fake like he was getting a blowjob as he was like doing this every night. And I swear to God, I just like there would just be points where like if I look at you for 1 millisecond longer, I'm gonna just fall apart and I'm gonna stop playing right now. And it really did come to that quite a few times. But he is truly an amazing guy, and I am truly in awe of his talents.
Yeah,
truly,
I know. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Mr. Babco.
And it's so fun. I love that he's such a drummer fan. He's a drum geek.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Which is, I know. I know. It's great. But we're all, again, back full circle. Yeah. We're all a bunch of geeks.
Yeah.
Just, Sorry, I didn't mean to call you that.
No, I am truly a geek. I think that's pretty well known. That's pretty well known.
Do you have to get back to work at all at any point? Is this...
In a little bit.
This guy cares a lot.
He cares too much.
He cares too much. I like that.
Too much. I tell him all the time. It's TV. No one's going to hear it. No one gives a fuck. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Nobody gives a fuck.
I know. TV land.
By the way, do you go to Nashville, New York?
No, not really.
This doesn't happen?
No, I have worked in New York.
Flying in for sessions and...
Yeah, I don't know why. It just really hasn't... people have threatened to fly me out to Nashville. It just hasn't really happened. I've been an LA guy.
It doesn't really happen today, you think? In that
no,
sense?
I bet it does. I mean, I always... Well, it's funny. I had this fantasy that Matt Chamberlain always went out there, but then I was listening to that podcast, and I don't think that that's really the case.
Yeah.
It's
funny, isn't that?
Well, I mean, they have so many amazing guys out there. It's like,
But sometimes people just get obsessed with one person, right?
Yes.
Like, I want him.
Yes. Yeah. And that's my buddy Dave Levita, who's a guitar player, who's an LA guy, but Nashville loves the shit out of some Dave Levita. And they fly him out there all the time, and it's just amazing. But yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
A different world.
Child's voice.
There's a lot of shenanigans out on the street.
Oh, that's from the street. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm picking that up. It's amazing. It sounds like it's in the closet. I'm like, what's going on?
This wall's pretty thin here. Luckily, back there, it's pretty good.
Wow. The problem is I don't work with notes. And again, your credits. It's talk about fear. Like, I thought I could remember.
Oh no, please! I've been very lucky.
It's just like
very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky. And I think about too, like a lot of guys will talk about like all the records that aren't even on All Music.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot.
That's probably like what, 60%?
And then for me, I always run into the misspelling of my last name,
which is the most common one.
Oh God, there have been so many wrong ones. I don't even know. I think really, if you look up under all the misspellings of my name on AllMusic too, there's like all those guys have a bunch of credits too.
Right. What's the most common mispronunciation?
Indrizzo and Indrizzo. It's a fuck name.
They want to add an I at the end there.
Yeah.
Like towards, yeah.
It's a fuck name all the way around because also it means address in Italian. So it's really, I go to Italy and they laugh about my name there too. So
yeah, what's up with the address?
I think there's a theory that like when my great grandfather came here from Italy, that his real last name was Pisano, but somehow it got filled out as address because he was like 5 or something.
Oh, so that Ellis Island thing.
Yes.
Vito Corleone.
Yeah.
So
they fucked up the name.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
Address.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Very funny. Every day in Italy, it's like, yes, I know. Very funny. Very funny.
We were talking about the jet lag real quick. That idea of tough to just gets tougher.
Yeah.
The adjustment.
I think the older I'm
right?
Or also, when I was younger without kids or like whatever, it's like I could have a day or two to kind of crash out. Now it's like you get home and the kids, they don't give a fuck. It's like, daddy's home, let's rock.
Totally jump on them.
Yeah, which is good. It's actually good because it helps get you back on schedule.
Yeah, otherwise you'd just be sleeping.
Yeah, and to me that's the hardest part about traveling. It's funny, there are guys that hate touring. I love touring. I really do. There's something, one, there's the obvious thing of like, your job for the day is to show up and play music, right? Okay, that's number one.
Yeah.
I love traveling. I don't love airports or shit like that, but there's something I love, just like being a gypsy, living out of a suitcase. I actually love that. But I hate being away from my kids. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's in my blood, I feel like, and I feel like I have to. One, I have to do it financially every now and then,
right.
But I do truly love it, and it is part of who I am.
Right.
So it's like,
you couldn't swear it off. You couldn't be one of those guys.
I wouldn't want to. There's something that I get, and it's funny. I'm thinking now about the Aaron Sterling interview, right, which I loved, fucking great, and he's an amazing drummer and a great person, and interesting to hear his take of like how touring for him is like a different thing. It's like it's not something he gravitates towards.
Right.
Yeah. But I love it, and I love that reaction of like the feedback that you get from performing live, and that, man, you could really fuck it all up. And I always think about that too. That's another little fucked up thing I do in my head. It's like I'm playing in front of 20,000 people and I'm like, man, if my foot slides off the bass drum pedal right now, I could fuck this whole thing up. This could all go horribly wrong because of me right now. Yeah. And there's some thrill there of like not doing that and like getting through it. And
you're the pilot.
Yeah, you feel like you're the engine. You got to drive this thing, and just the response and trying to do things different a little bit every night. Like there's something great in session work where it's like learn the song, play it, forget it.
Right.
And then there's something great about playing the same thing every night, but trying to do something different with it every night.
Yeah,
That's what I try to do, but I don't know. I love it. So it's so interesting to me to hear Aaron's interview and how much he was the opposite, but also comes from how he grew up and being around more sessions. Sessions to me seemed like a crazy foreign world as opposed to the norm. Playing live to me was the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the opposite thing going.
Yeah, man, Victor. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been amazing. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I hope you can make sense out of all that. I was like hopping around all over the place. But.
No, it's fine, man. It's great. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
The best in men's clothing. Call Paul's Boutique at Jenny. So the number is 718-498-1043. That's Paul's Boutique, and they're in Brooklyn.
I did that. What? Do it.